Hey everybody, Mike Miller, Herald Times, joined by my two pals, Eddie Cotton with the Hoosier Network, Teddy Bailey with the Hoosier Network. The HN boys are joining us for a wild, rollicking episode of Scoop Talk after a wild and rollicking game here at Simon Scott Assembly Hall. Boys, where do we begin after this one?
I'm not sure, honestly. Romeo Langford, game winner.
Why not?
Yeah, I think it's a good place to start.
It probably is a good place to start. It comes after a... It was a pretty fitting ending, kind of given the way last game went, going to overtime at Iowa. Romeo Langford had an opportunity for a final shot at the end of regulation there, just as he had a final shot opportunity at the end of regulation against Michigan State. This time he converted. This time he didn't settle for a bad off-balance three-pointer as the clock was dying.
Nice
he attacked.
I like that take.
Yeah.
That was a good take.
Yeah, he didn't settle this time. He attacked, and Archie Miller was saying, in some cases it's easier said than done in those situations. But I mean, let's be honest. Those are the kind of situations, the Michigan State game, the Iowa game. I think those are two instances where you can clearly learn that those are not good shots. Those are not shots you should ever be taking just one-on-one, fade-away, step-backs, whatever you want to call them. Just attacking in that situation, they did. Got a little help from Rob Finney, too, kind of setting the screen and sort of interrupting things at the top of the key. Romeo blows by him, lifts a little layup over Nate Reavers, and it's ball game, boys.
And it was incredibly interesting when Romeo was asked about it. In the press conference, he pretty much acknowledged that because he's gone through those other moments against Iowa, against Michigan State, he's learned his lesson. And I think that lesson was very obvious. When you go to the rim, no one's going to stop you, Romeo.
And that's his game.
So
yeah, that's what he's best at. He had a crazy line. He played 45 minutes. Didn't pick up a foul. 22
That is
points.
crazy.
Right. I don't know what that's about. But had the game winner. And he's not alone in Indiana's late game struggles by any means. And even tonight, they kicked the ball around as much as they could. I mean, like you said, it was a basketball one-on-one clinic here for a good portion of tonight. So he's not alone in those struggles. But at the same time, you're right. Like, he's at his best when he's getting the basket, and that's what he did. You saw him. I think he said, and Dimitri Trice acknowledged that Wisconsin kind of messed up the read on Romeo Langford, which allowed Romeo to get to the basket. But who knows? Maybe if he doesn't see that hole, it's another step back 3-pointer. But everyone can go home, and we didn't play a third overtime, which is really all that matters.
Good Lord.
God, the 8 a.m.s, man. Romeo would have had to make it to his 8 a.m. Thank God he made it.
Does he have an 8 a.m.? Can we confirm he has an 8 a.m.?
I can't confirm, but
I
I
do.
assume.
You assume, all right. Well, not to say when you assume. Anyway.
But Indiana did this with two starters fouling out.
Yeah.
Justin Smith and Juwan Morgan. Both of them only played 26 and 28 minutes respectively. So compare that to Al Durham and Romeo Langford. That's 17 minutes. They didn't have those two starters on the floor. Devontae Green gets essentially hauled into that game. Not sure if he was intending to see the floor again. He only played a little under 11 minutes tonight, but he came in and fouled Trice from 3, which allowed Wisconsin to tie it. I'll tell you what, Trice can hit those free throws in clutch moments. It's one of the reasons Wisconsin.
Ice is in his name, Betty. Did you know ice was in his name? He's got ice in his veins,
Trice.
and it's in his name.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, it's great. But
it's a good point that you mentioned Devontae Green. He only played 11 minutes, which I think was almost a sign of Archie acknowledging we're going to go with the young guys. We're going to let these young guys learn in this experience. And part of that was his hand was forced with Juwan Morgan fouling out. But you look at that entire overtime, it's all underclassmen and Deron Davis. And Deron Davis, a man who was literally looked like he was on his last legs. He could barely walk across the floor because he's playing so many minutes back to back. You saw on that last dunk where he was fouled, he didn't dunk it. That's why I just said last dunk. You almost assumed Duran's going to dunk that down. He didn't even have the energy to do that. But it was all the underclassmen, and one of the stars, I think, was Race Thompson.
Yeah, I was going to say we have two guys we should probably talk about too. Race Thompson and Justin Smith. We'll start with Race Thompson because for a good chunk of that first half, he drew the Ethan Happ assignment. Did a really, really good job.
Stellar.
I mean, Happ's always going to get his points. He had 10 in the first half, but just putting a body on him and not only putting a body on him, but not really falling for some of those moves. I mean, he's a guy who can just kind of spin off. You use your own body against you, and Race didn't take the bait. which was, again, a sign of what India had missed for so much this season, just competent post-up. Because that's what Race is. He's not an above-the-rim type of player, but he's going to give you some physical, aggressive play in the post. A guy who's not afraid to take on some of those matchups. And against one of the toughest covers in college basketball, more than held his own.
And it's like remarkable thinking about the defensive difference between Race Thompson and Evan Fister.
Yeah.
You've got a guy who's 7 feet tall and couldn't guard anyone who weighs more than 150 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason Fister played 96 seconds tonight. I don't know how to go about this game. I mean, it seems like over 3.5 hours ago, Indiana hit 6 first half 3-pointers.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
kind of flipped the script, because I think Wisconsin also went 1 for 9 in the first half too. So it was sort of both teams playing, against their
and then
strengths.
Indiana gets out to that 13-point lead, largest lead of the night in the second half. Around 8 minutes into the second half, and then Wisconsin reels off a 20-3 run. That Indiana had a lineup out there that I'm not sure how comfortable Archie Miller was with how that.
No, because that lineup went on the floor with 12:40 left. You could tell Archie was just trying to steal a blow for Romeo there.
Under 8.
Yeah, because he had Romeo on the bench, Juwan was out, and Rob Finney was out. So you had Devontae, Al Durham, Zach McRoberts, Devontae Green, and Race Thompson.
You said Devontae twice.
Did I?
You're better than Mike.
It's
Mike.
Either way,
Devontae's like half a person, not two.
It was not the lineup you want for more than 40 seconds, and I ended up playing 2 full minutes. During that span, Wisconsin outscored them 8-4. It was the beginnings of a 20-3 Wisconsin run that just kind of brought the Badgers right back into it. But again, this was a game where Indiana really dictated what it wanted to do. It actually made some shots, which makes everything else easier around you. And again, going back to Justin Smith, a guy who I wrote coming into this game, are we looking at a diminished role for Justin Smith moving forward, just considering he didn't play after halftime, after the 6-minute mark in the first half at Iowa. And lo and behold, I was writing on deadline. I didn't hear what Archie said in the post game. What was the actual issue with Duran? Did he say
he was ill?
All right,
so he was ill before the game. I think the fair assumption was he was puking.
Yeah, he was out there for lumps, and just like the last what was it, whatever, the home game where Romeo leaves right before second half starts.
Ohio State.
Either way, yes.
Yeah, that game.
No, it was the one after.
Oh my goodness!
We're just off the rails.
Who did they play?
Purdue. It was the Purdue game.
Oh, Purdue.
Yes,
okay, got
of course.
Yeah, that one.
The Matt Harms game.
Crazy.
The harmful game.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, but to actually have a guy like Justin Smith, who has absolutely struggled since Indiana's last win, 3 weeks ago, he played some big minutes, especially early. Had some offensive moments where so often I feel like in the season, Justin Smith when he's at his worst, he's playing like the offense, like he believes the offense should flow through him.
Yes.
He wasn't like that tonight. He was kind of taking what was available, taking what was there, and just kind of going with the flow.
Yeah, I mean he had his ups and downs tonight. And quite frankly,
he always will.
I think that's just the type of player he is. I think when you're that athletic, but aren't necessarily sure how to use it on every possession, that's going to happen. But Indiana survived. I mean, there was a point, I think Wisconsin went up 54-40 with around 6-ish minutes left, and 50. So, yeah,
that would have been
an
absurd.
No, but even then, I mean, at that point, you're looking for another home loss. But now you can say that the first round bye in the Big Ten tournament's still at play. They have 2 of the last 3 games are at home. They beat Michigan State. I mean, my point is that there's clearly much more hope in that locker room after tonight than had they blown that lead fully and blown a double overtime game at home to Wisconsin.
I think that's the frustrating thing about this season at large, is because really you go back those losses to Iowa and Ohio State right after the Michigan State win. There was so much time there to really get the season back on track. Yeah, to get this, it just didn't seem like a team that was capable of doing it. It just didn't seem like a team that had that capacity to really play those full 40 minutes when it was playing harder. It was just locking down on defense in key moments, or just hitting shots. It just didn't seem like a team that was capable of getting itself back on track. But in these last 3 games, since that Minnesota embarrassing Minnesota loss, it's a team that once again is playing hard. It's a team that's once again, I think, really committed to defense.
Yeah.
And tonight they made shots, I think, which makes all the difference. And you're kind of able to stack the different moments. You talk about Justin Smith earlier. You had Race Thompson right after that. You get into the second half, and guys are making their plays too. You just kind of, yes, Wisconsin had that 20-3 run, but for the most part, guys were able to kind of avoid multiple walls. They were able to, again, kind of stack different moments of the game and be able to piece out a victory.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think this Indiana team is going to be the best offensive team in the world, no matter how good they looked against Marquette earlier in the season. I think Archie Miller acknowledged that. We're not going to be an amazing offensive team, but when his guys play confident and they play hard and they play well on defense, they're at least going to give themselves a chance, and especially in this building, who knows? So we got a couple days to recover from this marathon against Michigan State on Saturday.
And with that concept, I think a lot of it obviously is mentality. You look at this team confidence-wise, how it's shifted. You thought that the confidence from Michigan State would carry over, and then it just absolutely didn't, and you got almost a dud. And you can almost tell that the confidence is starting to come back with the way they're playing right now. And it's a weird moment that like some people would find like stupid. But before the game, I was walking out to the court, and the door opened literally to the locker room right as I was about to walk by them. So you just see like a bunch of 7-foot guys just like about to like pummel me. And so I had to stand there and watch every.
You were not 7 feet tall.
No. The other guys, the 7-foot.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
like,
I'm
5'5".
On
my ID it says I'm 5'3" because I was 5'3" when I got my license. I know. I acknowledge that.
Jeez.
I know it's terrible. So they all filed out, and the last person to come out of the locker room is Juwan Morgan, and he's just laughing, and he's just like, "Y'all talk too much. Y'all just talk too much." And it's such a small moment, but like the positivity and the jokingness of it, it feels like almost a symbol of kind of the mentality that this team is changing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all important stuff, no doubt about it. Indiana's now, they snapped their 5-game losing skid overall, snapped their 5-game skid here at Assembly Hall. Weird that was even a thing, but it was. But it's no more.
It's a long one around these parts at home.
It's been a long one. Yeah, you can say that about the season. Back at it.
It's 1 a.m.
Saturday. Yeah, I know. This was a fun
Nice.
finish tonight.
Class in 7 hours.
Do you really?
You do.
What class?
Calculus.
You didn't even do the homework yet, did you, Ted?
No, I didn't. Yeah, so we'll do
Oh,
that.
for real?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we'll
he's
do
got
that.
questions 1 and 2, but like
There's a ton of parts. There's like
Yeah.
one E.
So he was
that's a
expecting
problem.
like an easy homework assignment, like he could
finished my
bang it
story.
out.
I have an
Question
exam
1
tomorrow.
and question 2, and then he opens it up. It's question 1, part A, B, C, D,
The whole
E.
point of this is like, please thank me for my service.
Yes, for
That's-
providing his time to
I don't know.
do
Knowing
this.
Ted,
talk.
I think he's going to be doing those calculus problems at the bar at sports after this.
No, because I have an exam after that 8 a.m. class.
Oh, so you go to KOK?
And then I have.
No, he's going to go to
maybe-
upstairs because he's not going to pay cover. Because if you're
and
going to
Route
go
7.
out,
We'll see what Route
you might as
7
well
is.
save money.
But,
Like if you're going to ruin this night and ruin your exam the next day, do it for cheap. Get a
I
$2
agree.
drink,
That's
get
fine.
out. Is this Scoop Talk sponsored?
Oh, it's still going. I thought we turned it off.
Oh, no! Don't end it! No, I got more.